one that we're live to
the one with the video on it.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. And then also I might go ahead and send. I'm going to text the group me as well. I'm just going to say live for episode 40. All right, sick. All right, time for Nordvpn. I think actually one thing I want to do this weekend is record this Nordvpn promo separate so that I can just enter it into the audio recording instead of having to do it live. But for now, what's going on, everybody? Before we get started, just want to give a quick shout out to Nordvpn. You can use Nordvpn to browse the internet privately, safely, and securely. It allows you to unblock all sorts of things like streaming services in other countries. If you sign up today with the GTD Sports affiliate link, which you can find in our YouTube bio description and on our website, gtdsports.com, you can save 70% on a risk-free 30-day money-back guarantee. So sign up for Nordvpn with the GTD Sports affiliate link today. All right. Bing bow. All right, let's do this. I don't know. I'm just gonna wing the introduction. I kind of want to change it up. I've been doing welcome back every time. I'll say hello this time. Hello, everybody, and welcome into the Going the Distance podcast. Today is episode 40. I see Elijah's already laughing at me because of my intro, but it is what it is, okay? I don't know what to say with these things, but regardless, we're back for another episode. Episode 40. Yeah, it's crazy. We're already here. Today's September 23rd, live on a Thursday, Twitch, YouTube, Periscope, all that good stuff. Make sure you guys check out our website, gtdsports.com, where you can find all of our podcasts and blogs. And speaking of podcasts, brand new, finally is officially launched. The Hockey Down Here podcast on the GTD Sports Network is up on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and will be implemented into our website within the next 24 hours. So stay on the lookout. Go give Alex and Taylor a listen over at Hockey Down Here. But for now, this is our show. Here to talk about football. Here to talk about the Ryder Cup. We're going to be talking about UFC 266. We got a crazy card this weekend. It's going to be some good stuff. But first, we're going to hit them with some Would You Rather questions like we always start our Thursday episodes. Elijah, I'll let you go ahead and go first.
All right, so in the spirit of the Ryder Cup this weekend and NFL, would you rather be Bryson DeChambeau's caddy or be best friends with Jackson Mahomes?
Oh, that's a good one, bro. That's a really good. Was that off the dome?
Mm-hmm.
It's off the dome? Oh, that's tough, dude. I don't know what to do. Okay, so on one end, you're dealing with the biggest bitch in arguably all of sports right now.
Jackson Mahomes, yeah.
Okay, no, that's not what I meant. But even with Jackson Mahomes, then you're gonna have like the public backlash. I mean, that kid gets roasted more than anybody I've ever seen on TikTok.
Rightfully
insane.
So.
Oh, I mean, he waltzes into it though. He like lures people in to roast him. It's like he loves this villain role that he's taken on. I don't understand it. It's kind of weird how Jackson Mahomes became Jackson Mahomes, but I think I would rather probably go with just caddy for DeChambeau. Because that, is that a long-term thing?
No, that's like for life. But like
in this hypothetical?
Yeah, for the rest of his career, and then your best BFFs for as long as Patrick Mahomes is playing is your BFFs with Jackson. And this includes making all the TikToks, going to sit in all the press boxes with him. You get to watch the game with right here, right next to him, cheering on his brother, saying, "Let's go, Patrick!" And fucking, all of that.
Let's go, Patrick! Yeah.
So you get all of that, and most important things is the TikToks. You're gonna be right there. You're gonna be filming all of his TikToks. You're gonna be in them with a couple of them. You're gonna be throwing water on him onto Ravens fans with him. So you're gonna do all sorts of things. All of the Jackson Mahomes activities. You're gonna be right there. I guess holding his hand probably.
Yeah, I think I don't know though. You mentioned the suites and like everything with the Chiefs. You get to firsthand look at football, get some behind the scenes looks. I'm probably gonna get to meet Patrick Mahomes. With all that being said, I would still rather be DeChambeau's caddy.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and too, it's like you got to go all the tech games as well because he goes to quite a bit of tech games. All the ones.
Oh, true.
And like the funniest part, I browsed his TikTok today just to see if Pat was in any of them, and he's not.
He's not in any of them. Yeah.
No. So I'm pretty sure that he like when people ask him like, bro, what the fuck is your brother on? He just goes, I don't know, man.
Yeah, he's probably just like, just let him do his thing.
I don't know.
Complete polar opposites, dude. It's kind of
so.
wild. I don't know how to follow up that question. Mine isn't as exciting as that one, but mine's more about putting your body on the line per se. So, would you rather? I've been watching F1, so I'm still on an F1 mood. Would you rather try and jump over a Formula One car going full speed, which is like over 200 miles an hour, or would you rather try and time it and juke out prime Ray Lewis coming at you full speed?
Okay. I actually started watching F1 Drive to Survive after Tuesday's episode. It's gas.
Yes, dude, it's so good. It's so good.
How long do I have to prepare? Can I get like a month of training in?
Okay, yeah. I mean, you'll get training either way, but I mean, either way, you still
okay.
My philosophy is with the F1, it's small. I feel like you could easily just time it right. You know what I mean? Dude, they're probably only like
3 feet.
Yeah,
because they're really low to the ground.
Did I say tall? I meant short. Yeah, they're really short.
Yeah,
really low to the ground. I don't think they're even 3 feet high. I think they're 2 feet high.
That's a good Google question. But no, like if you just give me some time to practice box jumps, like I'll go with the F1. Fuck it.
Yeah, I feel like that'd be more fun too.
Yeah. It'd be like that old Vine, and I could say do it for the Vine, and if I complete it, then I did it for the Vine. If I didn't do it, I can tell them don't do it for the Vine.
Or you can just go viral for a catastrophic fucking breaking every bone in your body.
I'm pretty sure I would get dismembered.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah, it would probably not even send you into the air. It would probably just like straight up cut off the bottom half of your body.
That's what I'm thinking.
Dude, that'd be gruesome. Because, with like a normal car, I've seen videos of people trying to jump over normal cars and they'll just do like a bunch of flips and shit. But yeah, with F1, I don't even think you'd get airborne.
Nah, you're fucking done.
I'd rather have that one too.
95 centimeters tall. Goddamn Europeans.
Fucking, I don't know the centimeters to inches. It's like 2.3 centimeters for 1 inch. So that's probably like what, like 60 inches?
3 feet, 1 inch.
So I was way off.
You're way off. All right.
3 feet? That makes sense for they're pretty short, low to the ground. Well, I guess too, they do have that one part like behind the razor's head that kind of comes up a little bit.
That's what I'd be worried about.
Yeah. Maybe just jump and spread your legs, bro. Oh, then you got a crotch shot, bro. Shit.
I don't know. Maybe I'll just take the Ray Lewis. Maybe I'll just get skull fucked. I'll just take the easy concussion over like dying.
Yeah, like treatable hospital, stuff.
Just a couple cracked ribs, be good to go.
That might be the way to go, honestly. I think it would just be more fun to try the F1.
That's true.
Makes me want to try it right now. But anyway, what do we got? What else do we got? Oh, our fantasy football matchup is this weekend. So who are we taking on, actually?
Warzone Sports. I forgot to invite him on.
Warzone. Tony. Where is it? Let me pull it up real quick.
What's up, TH? I see you commented who are backing for the Ryder Cup. Obviously, it's USA, but we'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah, we're about to hit the Ryder Cup in just a second.
Probably like 20 minutes from now, 30 minutes.
Yeah, I'm going to pull up here our fantasy football. We'll just go through the fantasy football matchup real quick. Warzone Sports, this should be a good matchup. Tony, we talked to Tony from Warzone before the draft took place. Yeah, really cool guy. Love what they're doing at Warzone Sports as well. So we got Lamar and Kyler. Oh, shit, that's a premier rushing quarterback matchup.
Yeah.
All right.
His team's pretty good.
It is pretty good. Allen Robinson. See, DK, though, DK's been kind of struggling. Tyler Lockett seems to emerge as the number one receiver right now.
So far in the first couple games, which I'm happy with because I have Lockett in my other league.
Oh, he has Deebo Samuel, too. Shit. He has Deebo Samuel and Cooper Kupp as his flexes.
That's what I was saying. That's why I said
bro.
Pretty good.
What?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I would have said that we're poised to go 2-1, but it looks like fucking Sleeper's giving us a 35% chance right now.
Yeah, it's tough.
Not what you like to see, but
It's
regardless,
fine.
check out Tony and Warzone Sports. But what were you about to say?
Those percentages are kind of fucked. Like last week, we were up at like 85 at some points, and I did not feel like we were 85% guaranteed to get a win. So
That's true. Yeah, and then it dropped like very,
yeah,
very fast.
it's just projections. You can never trust projections.
We'll outshine the projections. I'm not too worried. The only thing I am worried about is Jamal Williams is our RB2 right now. That'll be interesting. Anyway, though, while we're on the topic of football, before we get into the Ryder Cup, there is a bit of football we got to cover. It is Thursday. Thursday night football is tonight. Texans and Panthers. What an absolute juggernaut of a matchup. Probably going to be the best Thursday night football game of the year. I'm completely being sarcastic. This is going to be dog shit. But I'm still excited to watch it nonetheless. What are you thinking? Yeah,
I'm ready to see like a Sam Darnold primetime game like anyone else in America. So I think it'll be like a good matchup. I'm kind of anxious to see just how good the Panthers can look. Like if they blow out the Texans, like how for real are they? Because like Matt Rule is a really good head coach. Like he's done really successful everywhere he went, and the Panthers kind of outperformed a little bit last year, and then they just kind of slowed down the stretch. But I remember they came out hot again last year. But like, let's see how good they are, and hopefully they can be. Because I actually do like Matt Rule. Like he did really well at Temple, he did really well at Baylor, and thank God the Panthers hired him because Baylor was really good when they had him.
Yeah, actually, looking back, thank fucking God.
Yeah,
a lot of their success can be attributed to Matt Rule. Yeah, no, I agree though. It is exciting to see how the Panthers are going to pan out because before the season started, if you were to tell me the Carolina Panthers are going to start the season 3-0, I would have been like, you're fucking crazy. Like, no shot. But here we are, and they probably will.
Yeah. Just it was surprising that they beat New Orleans. I pegged them to beat the Jets because they're the Jets. Sam Darnold revenge game.
Yeah, like, fair enough.
Had to happen. And then they should win tonight against the Texans because this is a Texans team without starting a second-round rookie quarterback that's deemed as a project and not a viable option really at this point.
Yeah, I don't even know if like he's deemed a project. I don't even know what they're considering him right now because from everything I've seen, all the reports I've heard, it seems like experts, coaches, players, even Davis Mills himself, everybody kind of knows that he's not really ready for this role as of yet.
Yeah, and I figured that's kind of how it was going to be with him. But he has a lot of really good physical tools. He's just not really ready. I'm pretty sure he only started like 1 year too.
At Stanford?
Mm-hmm.
I think it may have, 1 or 2. Because he wasn't really necessarily that big in college football even before he got drafted.
He split some time with KJ Costello the year before, and then the COVID year, he just had a good year, I guess, but nothing crazy. So I think this is probably going to look like a blowout, one of those just gross Thursday night game.
Yeah, it'll probably be. I mean, the Panthers are favored by what, like -8.5. The only thing, though, I mean, I know the whole storyline, all the narratives are focused on Davis Mills and everything, but the Texans, bro, like they've overachieved massively so far this season. I know they haven't won a game, but just they've competed, which is a huge step.
Well, they won week 1. They kicked the shit out of Jacksonville.
I forgot they beat Jacksonville. Yeah.
Jacksonville's the one who looks god awful. Yeah, I mean, a lot of that was just Tyrod Taylor. They just have a lot of older veterans, and that's why they're able to compete. Like they're professional football players too. Like they'll go out and do their job. So I feel like that's kind of like why they got to win over like less experienced teams because they got a lot of experience. It's just guys that are just either outside of their prime or just aren't like super good.
Yeah, no, I mean that's true, and I don't know though. I wouldn't say the Texans have any sort of good coaching staff right now. It's just overall it's messy, but with Tyrod Taylor, it was like a controlled mess.
Yeah, well, with David Culley, he's a lame duck head coach. He's just there for this year, next to just accrue the best draft capital possible, and then to get him the fuck out. Like he is in no way, shape, or form a head coach that's supposed to win. So
I think another interesting aspect to look at, though, with the Texans, and I know this is kind of conspiracy, but is the Tyrod Taylor effect. Every single place that Tyrod Taylor has gone, that team has found their franchise quarterback as soon as he leaves. You know, it was
true.
with the Bills, they got Josh Allen. With the Chargers, after the fucking lung puncture, they got Justin Herbert. Browns got Baker. And, I mean, who knows? Maybe Davis Mills is the next Texans franchise quarterback.
Yeah, that just goes to show you, too, about how unfortunate this guy's career has been because, like, he's been, like, a pretty good guy. He just has never been the guy.
Mm-hmm.
And so back-to-back franchise QBs replace him. That's just kind of unfortunate.
It's got to be a blow to his ego, his confidence a bit.
It's like kind of one of those things where it's like, dude, I'm doing everything I can right, but I just can't catch a fucking break. It's like,
I felt so bad for him whenever that whole lung puncture thing happened.
Oh yeah,
in Los Angeles. Like, there's really no excuse for that, bro. Like, if you're a team doctor for the Los Angeles Chargers, that shit shouldn't be happening. I have always kind of felt like sympathetic for Tyrod Taylor because I like him as a player. He's entertaining to watch. He's just never been, like you said, that guy.
Well, Andy had that great week 1, and then he was performing really good until he got hurt week 2. And so, but I don't think Davis Mills is going to be that guy. Those were also top 10 picks.
That's true too. Yeah.
Him. So there was a 6th, 7th, and the 1st overall pick with all those guys. So, he'll probably get his job once he comes back, I would say.
Yeah, probably. Have you seen the pictures of Davis Mills' neck?
Mm-mm.
Dude, I should have had it ready to pull up, but it's like, bro, he literally has a giraffe neck. It's one of the strongest fucking things I've ever seen. It's so thick, and just if you see a picture of him like in full pads, first thing you notice is neck. Just goddamn, a boy's got a neck on him. Are you looking it up right now?
I'm about to. Yeah, I'm pulling it up.
Dude, it's so weird. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm the bad guy for making fun of this dude's neck. But
I don't know.
Fucking, it's pretty out there.
Holy shit. That's atrocious.
Yeah. Dude, his neck is so long.
Okay. All right.
What that neck do? No, but I mean, other than that, there really isn't any big storylines surrounding this game. I mean, Sam Darnold, how are the Panthers going to pan out? We have that. We covered that a little bit. Davis Mills, of course. This really isn't a crazy must-watch primetime game, but I don't know. Got to watch it. Thursday Night Football. I'm going to be watching.
Absolutely, me too. I wouldn't miss it for anything.
I'm going to be at work, so I'm going to be watching it, incognito tab mode while another game is going.
Gotcha.
Got to get it in nonetheless.
Let's see what else has been going on. So Tom Brady not Tom Brady. Tom Brady's trainer has made some comments about Bill Belichick and why Tom Brady left. So apparently, Billy Belichick was not treating Tom like the guy that he was, and still treating him like any other player or like that kid that he was when he first got drafted, instead of the legendary Tom Brady.
Yeah, his trainer, Alex Guerrero, came out with a public statement and said, as Tom got into his late 30s or early 40s, I think Bill was still trying to treat him like that 20-year-old kid that he drafted. So basically exactly what you just summarized. And to some extent, I agree. I really do. And I don't think I would have agreed if it wasn't for how well Brady's performing at Tampa Bay right now.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy because I believe it, because I wouldn't put it past Bill Belichick because he tries to keep everything in order. You know what I mean? Like, he's very much like law and order. We do it this way, like the Patriot way and all that. He didn't want to give preferential treatment to somebody because it's all about the team effort. And that's how they won the Super Bowl, was like through team efforts. But come on, that's Brady. Kraft was the guy, the owner was really the one to treat him like the golden boy. My Tommy is what I'm pretty sure he called him, or Tommy boy or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of weird. But he would always do that. So it kind of makes sense that that's why Bill did it, and that's why Brady ultimately wanted to leave.
Yeah, and I think it's also kind of interesting too, looking at it from this perspective. After years and years of everybody chirping system quarterback, Brady's a system quarterback. Brady would never be good without Bill Belichick. But it's like maybe Bill Belichick was holding him back a little bit, which is so weird to think.
Ooh, I wouldn't think so, but
I don't know. I mean, just look at like this year is arguably the greatest start he's had in over a decade, probably. Like first 3 games of the season, or first 2, I guess. He's going off right now.
This is also the most talent that Brady's ever had on
surrounding
an
him.
Offense, surrounding him.
You're right about that. Yeah, he definitely has never had as deep of a receiver core as the Bucs have.
I mean, he had Randy Moss for a short time, and then Gronk has really anchored down some defensive. But like other than that, bro, like his best offensive weapons were 7th round pick Julian Edelman. Like he's never had
that is true.
He's never had a stud running back to hand the ball off to. You know, Bill Belichick has gave him like he's won Super Bowls with the trash bin.
Yeah, that's true. Like even whenever he never has had like a running back, but even whenever he has had like a good running back, for example, LeGarrette Blount, whenever he was there for that 1 year, he was one of the best backs in the league. But it was 1 year. That was it. And so Brady's never had any consistency at Tampa Bay, or not at Tampa Bay. I mean, at New England.
Yeah, well, just because, and like you can criticize it all you want, but they also won championship after championship, so it's like whatever. But like that's why he's doing so well is because all the guys he has the ball to throw to are extremely talented. I mean, Gronk is still really good. He's back. He's fully back now. I think the lull that he had at the first half of last year was just that he took a year off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He truly thought that he was retired and he acted like it. Like he probably didn't really work out as much.
Yeah, especially Gronk, bro.
Yeah.
The man who doesn't watch film.
Partying his ass off, you know. And he got Mike Evans and Chris Godwin and Antonio Brown and Tyler Johnson and Scotty Miller. Like those are all
and really OJ Howard and Cameron Brate is still a veteran that can make some plays. Like, yeah, they have crazy deep. Like they're crazy deep at the receiver.
Ronald Jones, Leonard Fournette, Giovanni Bernard is a pass catching back. He's like their new James White.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, like this is not necessarily Tom Brady showing out. This is just Tom Brady being like, hey, I finally have, you know, real guys I can throw the ball to and spread the ball around and conduct my offense the way I want it to.
Yeah.
I haven't fell off at all. I'm not, you know, nothing really happened. It's just I'm exploding now because this is what, like, look at it. You know?
This is what I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think also it's interesting with or like what Brady responded to his trainer's comments about everything. Because obviously, you know, we're talking about it. It's going to start some sort of media uproar. Everybody's going to be looking to pick out exactly what this statement means per se. But Brady came out and responded by basically saying that everyone has protected feelings and emotions, and that's just a part of being in sports. And he also reiterated his great respect for his time in New England and says he's happy to be in Tampa now. So basically, he gave the most beauty pageant response ever. Like, oh, I want everybody to be happy. Yay, sports. I love being in Tampa. Yay. So he just avoided all conflict with that, which is smart. I mean, that is the smart move in this situation. But I just found that kind of interesting.
Yeah, I don't think he wants to talk too much shit publicly about New England or his time there because he still wants to be loved by Pats fans. Like
he's going to retire as a Pat.
Yeah, because I think he still loves like New England and all that shit. He just wanted to get away from because it was like time for a change. I don't think there's a whole lot of malice.
Yeah, there really wasn't.
It was just kind of like, you know, I think it's just time for me to move on and do something else with my career.
Yeah, definitely. And I think I could totally see him retiring with the Buccaneers, like signing a 10-day contract or something and just retiring with the team. Because I mean, with the Pats. Sorry, yeah. Because I mean, he is a Patriot. Like when it's all said and done, he is going to be remembered as a Patriot, no matter what he does with the Bucs. He could win the next 2 Super Bowls with the Buccaneers. He will still be remembered as a Patriot.
Yeah,
which is kind of crazy to think about.
He's probably going for 10 Super Bowls.
Yeah. Well, while we're on topic of Patriots and owner Robert Kraft, there's some news about him as well. recently Robert Kraft and ESPN reporter Adam Schefter, of all people, they got caught up in a gambling deal. So basically, they are co-investors, Schefter and Kraft, in this gambling company called Boom. And Boom is really yet to kind of hit the market. It's brand new. And from what I gathered on reading about it, it takes lines and promotions from all sorts of sports books like BetMGM, PointsBet, DraftKings, all that, and combines it into this one platform for unique betting experiences and opportunities. Like, I don't really know exactly what it is, but that's the gist of it. But ESPN's kind of getting some heat right now because a lot of people are concerned that there's a conflict of interest, that, Schefter shouldn't be involved in anything regarding sports gambling. And same thing with Robert Kraft as a team owner. Should the NFL do anything to disallow this,
Yeah, I see what you're saying with the Shefty thing, but people really should be smarter than that because there's so many other NFL insiders too, like Ian Rappaport, that will still report on things that need to be reported. So if Shefty falls off his game, somebody's going to take his place because it's a cutthroat market. But the Robert Kraft thing really is something to look out for. I mean, NFL already seems rigged as is sometimes. So we don't need to add more fuel to the fire. Like, I have to talk myself out of thinking that it's rigged. So like pretty much every time I watch Sunday.
Yeah, that's an interesting way to look at it too, is because it sounds so far-fetched that an owner's gonna rig his team to lose by this much or like to win by a certain amount. Like, but I don't know. I mean, maybe it's the conspiracy side of me, but Robert Kraft is a sketchy dude. Wouldn't put it past him.
That's true. I still kind of buy into the whole refs are the conspiracy that refs are rigged, but the teams are for real.
Okay, I see. Like, the refs try and influence the game as much as possible.
The refs are working for Vegas for the most part and blowing games through calls, but all the teams are for real. Like, they're actually trying to win, and they're not in on it.
What if that was a thing too, where it's like completely separate from the NFL? Like the NFL isn't rigging anything, but it's all like Vegas and secret contact with the refs and everything. That would be some crazy shit.
That would be, I don't know. Because I've been seeing it pop up because the more and more gambling's gotten popular, the more and more I see people talking about how the NFL's rigged, especially on Reddit. Everyone's like, dude, this sport is fucking rigged because like so much shit just works out to where the public always loses the bets. Like,
gotta fade the public, bro.
Yeah, that's why you gotta fade the public. So like, but the public loses like a large majority of their bets.
Yeah, it is crazy how what's it called? Oh, we just got an update that there's issues streaming on Twitch. Well, hopefully we're still going live. But anyway, there's been shoot, that got me off topic now. What were we just talking about with Schefter and Kraft?
That the NFL's rigged.
Oh, yeah. Well, people argue that the NBA's rigged, the MLB is rigged. I mean, everybody argues the shit's rigged because it's just so crazy how accurate Vegas and everything is with some of these predictions and whatnot. But in terms of having Schefter and Robert Kraft involved, I think it's interesting to look at with guys like Schefter or people in his position because he will have conflict of interest, of course. He's going to be reporting on injuries and stuff that could have massive implications on some of these gambling lines. So do you think somebody in the world of sports journalism, because I mean, me and you, we graduated with degrees in journalism, or I'm about to, so you did. Like, is this something that should be allowed? It's tough. It's tough.
Yeah,
it's a big gray
probably
area.
Not. I would say our boy Chip would probably say no.
Our boy Chip would probably say no. Yeah, I've always been under the impression that if it's not influencing your coverage in any way, if it's not affecting the things you say, if you're not getting any inside information to make these bets that the public is not getting, then I don't think there's any problems. But I think if any of those things do start to happen, then it's a big, big, big problem.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, though. That's because, I mean, I'm trying to go into sports journalism and I love sports gambling. So I don't want to just fucking stop just because I got a job,
Yeah, it'd be tough. We'll probably see in the because gambling has really exploded in the past
Yeah.
year and a half.
Yeah, even just in the last year, because now NFL Network is having gambling lines put on their shows and stuff.
Yep. And like when ESPN, the Monday or Sunday morning countdown, like does their picks, they do it with the spreads on there, and they used to never do that.
Yeah, I love seeing that too. It makes it's much more, appealing too for the watcher or the viewer, because I mean, I know it's a small population of who bets on sports, but it's nice for us to see that.
Yeah, so I mean, it's the future right now. Gambling is the future, so it'd be interesting to see if some of this is going to start getting cut off and how much of it affects sports.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't like all the backfire Schefter's getting, really, though. Like, just overall, I think this is different than, say, Schefter coming out with like, oh, use code Shefty for 10% off at DraftKings. Like, that's a lot different than him just having money set aside to invest in a company. Like, he's just investing in the company right now. He's not really making any massive sports bets that we know of course.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. I don't have like a huge problem with Schefter, but I would be worried about Kraft. Right. This weekend, outside of some football, we have some golf that is actually worth paying attention to for the first time since what was that last major? I can't remember however long ago that was.
A couple months.
But we have the Ryder Cup, and I'm excited for the Ryder Cup. And what it is, we kind of glossed over it on Tuesday. It's a match play tournament, 3 days. It's U.S. versus Europe. On the first 2 days, it'll be a mixture of foursomes, which is 2v2 best ball, where a golfer and their partner uses the best ball that they both hit. And then there's 4-ball, which is each guy uses their own ball, and then best ball, and they kind of tally up the matches. And then singles, which is 1v1 match play, which is on Sunday only. And they tally up the scores for like each matchup, and that's like 1 point each. And at the end of and then if there's a tie, it goes to the previous winner, which would be Europe.
Oh, that's annoying. If there's a tie, it goes to the previous winner.
Yeah, if it were up to me,
Stupid.
I would say that because there's a bunch of team captains for each team that are just like older golfers. Like Phil Mickelson's a Team USA captain, but the main captain I think is Steve Stricker. I would say just put out your best guy who's been super hot, and then just do like a 3-hole match play type deal.
That's interesting how it pans out. I've always known about the Ryder Cup, but I've never really known how exactly it works and everything, and I've never really watched it. So this weekend, I definitely going to do my best to keep up with everything. So how exactly does it work with like the team roster? So they have to split up, because I mean, Team USA has a bunch of guys. Koepka, DeChambeau, Markawa, DJ. Like, couldn't we just? Do they have to split them up per se into what they're going to be doing, or does everybody compete in everything?
Yeah, so it's always everybody competes in everything, I'm pretty sure. And then the captain decides who does what.
Okay.
And so the captains will decide the matchups and the pairings.
I wonder what, like, historically, how many Ryder Cups USA or Europe has won.
Has dominated. So how it used to work, since like they made this a common thing since 1999. Europe has definitely dominated.
Yeah, it says since the inception of the event in 1927, the United States have claimed the cup 26 times.
Yeah, but there's
they've won 9 of 9 of the past 12 official. Yeah, so 9 of the past 12.
Yeah, because it used to be just U.S. versus Britain, and then we were kicking their ass, and then Britain extended it to Ireland because there's a couple of good golfers in Ireland, and then we still kicked their ass, and then they extended the invitation to all of Europe, and USA was fine with that, and now it's gotten pretty competitive. But it's super awesome. Like it's gonna be a lot of fun because match play is just always fun to watch.
That's kind of cool though. It's literally just USA against the entirety of Europe. What does that say about America, baby? Yes, sir.
We're the best.
Oh, wait, we got a comment. Forgot to mention this comment about the Ryder Cup we got. It says, I've done a bet with my best friend back in 2018 for the Ryder Cup. And of course, I backed USA, so he won, and you'll never guess what my punishment was. I'm curious now as to what your punishment was.
Yeah, I'm not gonna guess, but I'd like to know.
There's millions of things we could guess. So, TH, if you're still watching, leave a comment with that punishment.
No, Team USA looks like that. I mean, they've got a lot of heavy hitters. I recognize a lot more guys on their squad because it's 12v12. 12 guys on each team. Like we got, like you said, all the way through that list. Also, Justin Thomas, Spieth, Patrick Cantley, who's been on fire. He won back-to-back tournaments, including the FedEx Championship, to win a shit ton of money. And then with Team Europe, like they got John Rahm, who has also been on fire. He's the world number one. Roy McIlroy, Victor Hovland, Tommy Fleetwood, and Shane Lowry. And a lot of their other guys had too. I didn't really recognize as much, but I'm pretty sure that's because Team Europe pulls a decent amount of guys from the European tour.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even think about that. Yeah. That makes sense. How do they decide the top 12? Because with USA in particular, I know for a fact they have more than 12 capable pro golfers.
Some of it is to be selected in like qualifications. A lot of that goes down at like the US Open or the PGA Championship. They'll like how you did in the majors and stuff like that. Not the Open because it's in Europe, so I don't know. Just stuff like that. It has to do with any event that's associated with like USA Golf, I'm pretty sure. And then the captains decide from a pool of qualified golfers.
Interesting. I kind of like that.
No, it's really cool. Like we're packed with some heavy hitters, and I was like, dude, there's no way that we lose. And then I looked at how the history has gone, and Europe has been pretty favorable with this match play stuff, which I don't get. But I mean, like we have a stacked roster right now, so I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, from what I know about golf, just reading the lists, it seems like USA should be the favorite.
It should, but I think the odds are pretty even right now. I think the USA is like, I think they're both at like plus 130 or something like that. Nothing crazy. But it's going to be in Wisconsin this year. So they'll kind of do it back and forth between somewhere in Europe and somewhere in America. Whistling Straits, Wisconsin. It's a pretty big golf course at 7,400 yards. And we're going to expect a lot of bombs this week because it's a pretty long course. And one of the things they did too is they cut down the rough to make it less of a minimum impact for balls that go out of rough because they really want to see guys take out the driver.
Disco stick time.
Disco stick.
Hellacious seeds, as Phil Mickelson said.
But yeah, and then another thing to look out for. So greens in regulation is probably going to be a key stat because pretty much every single hole has some type of hazard around it for this golf course. And I don't know, it's going to be really interesting. The last time it was in in a major tour event, this golf course was back in 2015 for the PGA Championship. That was the one Jason Day won, but Spieth got second there. And a couple of other guys here got in the top 10 that are.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Is this course used on the PGA Tour commonly?
Yeah. So last time was like 6 years ago.
Okay. So it's been a
while. It was for a major.
Also, I double checked, and the betting odds have USA at a minus 200 favorites to win.
Oh.
So that's pretty heavy.
Yeah.
Honestly, Europe might be worth a play.
Yeah, with the way that they've done it. But man. Yeah, because who I to be scared of, bro, is John Rahm. Like, John Rahm is the best fucking golfer on the planet right now. Like, hands down.
You said he's ranked number 1 right now?
He's ranked number 1 in the world, and for good reason.
Didn't he? Was he the one that had a kid and then won right after it? There's a golfer that recently had a kid and then had like a crazy performance after it.
I can't remember.
I gotta get my knowledge up.
He was the guy who was winning on the very last day, and then he somehow tested positive for COVID and had to withdraw, and then won the U.S. Open like right after that.
Another interesting thing too with all this is going to be, we've talked about Bryson DeChambeau and Brooks Koepka. Their feud for so long, and now they're going from foes to teammates. So I wonder how that chemistry is going to pan out, you know?
Yeah, that's been a big like talking point in the media is how these guys are like supposed to do it. They both remain adamant of saying like, nah, like it's not that big a deal. Like we're just gonna compete. Like we're gonna set it aside for the Ryder Cup. But Koepka also made headlines because he said that team sports wasn't in his DNA, and a lot of guys, a lot of older guys, got mad at him, saying like, you shouldn't be here if you don't think you can compete like that. It's for the team, blah 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 blah. And then he fucking bounced back and he was like, I wouldn't be here if I didn't want to compete. So like you can talk all the shit you want about Koepka. And as much as he seems to not care, he really is a competitor.
Yeah, I love Koepka, dude.
Yeah.
This is a full hashtag Team Brooksy podcast.
For sure. And but no, so it's been kind of crazy with that. It's been more of a distraction than anything, but nothing has really happened. It's just the media saying, well, what about these guys? They don't like each other. How are they going to do? It's like, shut the fuck up. Just
dude,
watch
one day I want more than anything for just these guys to be teeing up, especially Bryson DeChambeau, bro. Because I feel like if anybody's going to lose their cool, it's going to be DeChambeau. So one day, just he's teeing up at a PGA event. You know, he has some hecklers saying Brooksky in the back and whatever. I just want to see him snap. You know what I mean? Just lose his shit before he tees off and then just like turn and be like, shut the fuck. Like, I don't know, scream at the fans, get in the fans' face or something. If anybody does that, it's going to be DeChambeau.
Nah, I want to see him paired up on a foursome.
With Koepka
and DeChambeau. Yeah, I want to see them get paired up to where they have to use each other's best ball. I feel like they bring the best out of each other.
Dude, actually, that's not a bad idea.
They would be so pissed about having to use the other guy's ball, and they do their best to get their best shot out there. They would.
That's a really good point. No matter how much shit talking goes on, no matter how much of the rivalry is present, you're right. Yeah, they're just going to push each other to be better because they're going to want to use their ball every time. And just be like, fuck you, other guy. I bet there's going to be if that happens every single time, they're going to both shoot it. And then there's going to be like some sly whispered comment as they walk back, like, oh, better luck next time or something like, just like subtle comments. Cause I feel like that's what golf trash talk really is.
Oh, for sure. But now I'm excited to watch it. It'll be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So it's a 3-day event. I'm going to try to keep an eye on it. Not necessarily. It's hard to commit to something like that during football season, but hopefully that there's a window on Saturday where there's like a time slot where I don't really care about a game to watch and get to watch some golf. I will be watching all day on Friday. Sunday is going to be a little difficult, but
yeah, it's football.
The Cowboys don't play, so maybe I could just have Red Zone up on the big TV and then the Ryder Cup on my iPad or something.
Oh, yeah. Cowboys are Monday Night Football. Yeah.
Cowboys are Monday Night Football.
Yeah, dude. This weekend's going to be – there's so much going on this weekend. I'm going to be watching, of course, college football all day Saturday. I'm going to try and fit in the Ryder Cup as much as I can. And also, too, I want to – this weekend is the Russian Grand Prix. So I want to try and watch an actual F1 race and see how that goes and see if maybe my fandom is just for a Netflix documentary or if I actually enjoy it.
Because it's so sick watching in the cars.
It's so cool, yeah.
I each time I watch it, dude, I'm like, fuck, I should have grown up to be a race car driver.
I should have just completely foregone. Yeah. Well, the way they grow up to become race car drivers is crazy. I mean,
go-karts.
Yeah, like who would have thought, right? I never knew how people got into F1.
I knew that's how it was because my grandpa used to watch NASCAR, and that's what they would also grow up doing is on the go-kart track. So it just kind of made sense.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in every other aspect, though, F1 and NASCAR are so different.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Oh,
yeah,
sure.
But I'm going to be trying to watch that. And then, of course, Saturday night, we're about to talk about this in a second. Saturday night, UFC 266 is absolutely insane. And then also, Sunday got the Ryder Cup, got the actual race of F1. You got
what time is F1?
It's at 7 a.m. Oh, yeah, I know. The only reason I'm thinking about waking up is because Arsenal plays Tottenham, which is their biggest rival in the North London Derby at 10 a.m. So I'm going to be up kind of early anyway to watch that.
The races only last like 2 hours, right?
Yeah, usually about 2 hours.
Because there's like a time limit.
Yeah, so it's going to be sports from the moment I wake up to the moment I go to sleep on Sunday. I'm excited, dude. I'm looking forward for this weekend. But most importantly of anything I just mentioned is probably UFC 266. This card is absolutely fucking insane. We have kind of teased at it, hinted at it, previewed it a little bit in past episodes because this card has been on everybody's calendar for weeks, if not months. There are 5 main event fights that are completely worthy of having their own event themselves. In the main event, we got Alexander Volkanovski taking on Brian Ortega for the featherweight title. Yeah, sorry. We got Shevchenko taking on Lauren Murphy, and she's looking to become the first ever person to put away Lauren Murphy or KO her, which I would not be surprised if Shevchenko does. Then next up, we have Nick Diaz and Robbie Lawler, the rematch after 17 years, which that is crazy in of itself. Then Curtis Blades is taking on Jairzinho Rosenstruck in the heavyweight. That should be electric. And then last but not least, Jessica Andrade is taking on Cynthia Calvillo. And even the prelim has a few good fights. I mean, Marlon Moraes is fighting. Dan Hooker is fighting. If you remember his disappointing loss against Chandler, his last time out. Dude, there's so much going on in this fight card. I can't even believe that this is all one event. It's insane.
Yeah, no, I'm happy to see some UFC back.
Yeah, it feels like it's been a while. Even though they've had events, there hasn't been a major one in a while.
Hasn't been a major one in a minute. It's hard to compete. It's gonna be harder to compete with football for UFC. But,
definitely, yeah.
This one, I don't really know too many of these names. I'm still more of a green UFC fan, but like this seems like I know Shevchenko. It seems like a pretty quality card all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
There's no, to me, it looks like there's no like super marquee name.
So
too casual.
The biggest storyline probably in this fight card is, of course, going to be the main event, Volkanovski and Ortega. So these guys have both. Do you know Dana White's UFC Contender Series or whatever it's called? I'm blanking on the actual name. But it's kind of like a reality TV show type style where they have 2 coaches and they have teams of fighters.
Oh,
it's Ultimate Fighter. Ultimate Fighter. That's what it's called.
Ultimate Fighter. Yeah.
So Volkanovski and Ortega were the coaches from this past season. So they've been jawing it up with each other for months now. And Volkanovski actually, you know Max Holloway, right?
Yeah.
So Volkanovski beat Holloway twice in a row. And that's how he is the featherweight title or champion. But a lot of UFC fans, myself included, believe that Holloway won those fights. Both of them were split decisions. I think Holloway won both of them, especially the first one. So his championship might be illegitimate. And this fight is really kind of going to be his chance to prove himself as somebody who can defend a belt. And no matter who wins, we better see Max Holloway as the next fighter in the featherweight championship. I don't care if Ortega wins. I don't care if Volkanovski wins. Part of me wants Volkanovski to win just so that we can see like a part 3 of Holloway and Volkanovski, because I see no shot that Max Holloway loses that one. Do you remember his Holloway's fight, his most recent fight? He dominated Calvin Guitar, and he was in the middle of the ring going like, "I'm the best boxer in the UFC. I'm the best boxer." And then he like looked at Dana White and was telling him that shit. Dude.
Yeah.
One of the coldest moments in all of UFC. He's just mid-fight screaming, and then he stops screaming, jaws him, keeps screaming, like insane. Max Holloway deserves the next title fight in the featherweight division, so whoever comes out on top should be taking on Holloway too. And then Nick Diaz, I mean, I know you know the Diaz brothers, right?
Of course.
Yeah, you got to know the Diaz brothers. So Nick Diaz has not fought in 6 years, which is a very, very long hiatus for a UFC fighter. So to see him coming back is one thing, but to see him coming back against an old rival, he fought Robbie Lawler back in 2004 when he was 20 years old, just coming onto the scene of the UFC, and Diaz won that fight. But Robbie Lawler is probably had the all-around better career than Nick Diaz, so this is going to be a good one. And I think right now Robbie Lawler is probably better. So yeah, I mean, what else we got? There's Dan Hooker. Like I mentioned, he's a prelim fight. Even though he's on the prelim, it's still very relevant because he's lost his last 2 fights. Dan Hooker's never been a marquee name in the UFC, never been a true sellout crowd type guy, but he's been consistent until he lost to Dustin Poirier, which, I mean, shit, you can't you can't be upset about losing to Dustin Poirier. He's the champ. And then he lost to Michael Chandler, UFC newcomer, former one championship champion. So 2 quality losses. But the thing about this fight is if he wins, he springs himself back into relevancy in the lightweight division. If he loses, he's probably done being ranked for the rest of his career, to be honest. So
yeah,
the very big swing fight for him.
It's probably a must-win fight for him. Or
you can't slip 3 in a row.
Or springboard fight for Marlon Moraes.
Yeah, exactly.
So, that'll be definitely a good fight to watch out for. Is that the final fight for the prelims?
Moraes and Hooker aren't fighting each other. Hooker, I forget who. They have 2 separate fights, but Hooker. No, yeah, I wrote that in there wrong. But Hooker, I forget who he's taking on. It's another newcomer type guy, so Hooker should be favored to win.
Mm-hmm.
But again, if he loses, that's just going to be even more of a reason why he's going to fall off because he's losing to kind of a no-name.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, that'll be exciting. I'll definitely watch the prelims. I don't know if I'll look for a stream, but I probably won't buy this fight card.
Yeah, streaming is probably the way to go. I sometimes I get nervous, like with really big cards like this, because I would not miss this card for the world. So like, I don't know if I want to risk, buying a streaming service rather than going hard risk not buying it and just streaming it illegally rather than paying it and coughing up the money.
Yeah, sometimes they're kind of shitty. So
yeah, and they cut out every now and then.
They'll cut out, and like with big fights too, like for McGregor, it was so hard. The first McGregor Poirier fight, it was so hard to find a stream because so many people were on one, and the servers would just like crash.
Yeah, that is too. Like usually it gets slower and slower as you get to the better and better fights because more people start watching too. Yeah.
Yep.
That's the downside about it. But another storyline in this fight card too. We talked about the men's fighters, but Shevchenko, people say Valentina Shevchenko is one of the best female fighters of all time, but they're wrong. She is one of the best fighters of all time. Men or female, doesn't fucking matter. Pound for pound, Shevchenko is a legend. And, she's going for, I think, her 6th straight title defense, which is absurd. And she's going against Lauren Murphy, who's a really capable fighter. This should be one of the better matchups for Shevchenko in a long time, considering Murphy has never been knocked out. But my question, though, is kind of, can anybody ever beat Shevchenko? Like, will anybody ever beat her in the flyweight division? Probably
not.
I really don't.
Her and Nunes are just going to keep on dominating their divisions.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like they're just, both of them are in a completely different world. And they fought before. Nunes beat Shevchenko. So I think the only next step would be put those two together, move up a weight class, move down a weight class. I don't care what happens. Just make it happen. That would be the women's fight of the century. I mean,
a rematch.
Yeah, a rematch. Yeah, that would be crazy because Shevchenko's gotten significantly better since they first fought.
Yeah, how long ago was it?
I think it was in 2014. It's like 7 years.
Then that needs to happen.
Yeah, like I'm surprised it hasn't happened already.
Nah, Dana will make it happen.
Dana will make it happen eventually because they're getting to the point where they're going to start rematching opponents that they unanimously beat. You know what I mean? Like guys that or girls that they beat in 20 seconds. They're going to be forced to rematch them because there's nobody else for them to fight in their division.
Yeah, it gets pretty thin in the women's divisions.
It does, yeah. Yeah, same thing with like the light guys. I mean, flyweight, after you go from Figueiredo and Brandon Moreno, there's really not many great flyweight contenders. Mm-hmm. But what else is there? That's really all the main storylines for this card. I am so stoked, as you can probably tell, but I can't wait to watch this. I need to see Max Holloway in a championship fight soon, and this is the first step towards that. So, lots going on UFC 266 this weekend. I think that's all we got on it. So, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and hit our favorite segment, Fade or Tail, for this weekend's betting picks.
Taylor Fade.
Oh, shit. Fade or Tail? God damn it. Taylor Fade. I wrote Fade or Tail. Why did I write that?
It's Taylor Fade.
Taylor Fade. Okay, everybody. I put it in our title last episode, so
I know.
Shit, we got to know it
the right way too.
Yeah, the right way. All right, so what is Elijah's been keeping track of things. So at this point in the season, Elijah, what is our record right now?
So last week I went 3-7 again, because I went 3-2 during college football, and I was like, all right, that's not bad. And then I was like, let's hopefully get a big NFL Sunday, and I went 0 for 5 based off of your picks.
Okay, so you're tracking them based off our fade tail decisions.
Yeah.
Okay, good. That's what I thought.
Decisions. Yeah. And so you had a really good week last week. You tailed a bunch. I want to add that. And you went 8-2. So right now we're sitting at 15-5 for you and 6-14 for me.
Hey, there's still plenty of time to turn it around.
So there's a lot of consistency in this. If you're a listener, if Ryan, based off my picks, tail his tailing or fading of mine, and then fade my tailing or fading of Ryan's. Because right now, if you did that, you would be sitting at a 29-11 record.
Shit, let's keep this going.
And tailed Ryan. So tail Ryan's picks based off the mine. I also want to point out again that you tailed me a lot last week and had a really good week because I did a really good week for picks.
Yeah, I had like
you had
8 tails.
You had a bad week for picks, and I tailed you. So,
yeah,
I might fade you a lot more this week. So let's see.
I don't know though. On my personal card, like what I ended up going like 10-3 this weekend in college football. It was pretty nice.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into it. Let's start off with our college football picks for this weekend. My first one I'm going with is Notre Dame at Wisconsin. I'm taking the first half under of 24. I think it's going to be a slow start at Camp Randall.
First half, so man.
Kind of a tricky one to pick, but
that is a tricky one. I'm going to tail that.
I just think Wisconsin's ground and pound. Notre Dame's offense has looked so disappointing so far. So I think that's a sure one. All right, so next up I'm surprised that this line is only 4.5 points, but I'm taking Texas A&M minus 4.5 at Arkansas. I think the Razorbacks are still phonies in the SEC. They're still a bottom tier SEC team. They had a successful game against Texas, but other than that, I'm not buying in.
I'm going to fade.
Okay.
I actually like Arkansas plus 4.5 because this could be their coming out party if they actually are legit. This team is pretty good. They run the ball really effectively, and that's their identity, and they own up to that. And so this could also just be a game that turns out to be tight because usually if you had a team that's so good at running the football, they produce tight games. I
mean, you're right. That if Arkansas was going to have any game to kind of come out and say, hey, we're legit, this is definitely that game. Moving on now, I'm another SEC team pick. I'm fading the SEC this time, though. I'm going with Boston College +2 at home against Missouri.
I'm going to fade this one as well.
All right.
I like Mizzou in this spot. Boston College is definitely not a very good ACC team. Neither is Mizzou. Better. Yeah, that's true. They have gotten better. Mizzou isn't a very good SEC team, but if we're going to SEC versus ACC, I got to go SEC.
All right, fair enough. And then my next one, I usually hate, and I know you hate this too. I don't like these 20-point spreads, but I am big on Michigan this year. I really think the Wolverines are back. So give me Michigan minus 20.5 at home against Rutgers.
So how's Rutgers been? Rutgers might be back. I'm going to fade.
They're better, but they're still not great. Like, they're better than their terrible 0-12 Rutgers that we all used to know and love, but still not great.
I'm going to fade again.
All right. Lots of fades right now.
You burned me last week, dude.
Yeah, I did. You tailed all my shit, and I fucked you.
I went like 3-2 tail for both NCAA and NFL, and I just didn't do very good. So I'm fading a little bit more.
All right, and my last college football pick is going to be California +7.5 at Washington. They have a solid defense. Washington's looked like dog shit all season. I think they can play a close game.
I'll tail this one.
All right, bet. Yeah, I think I'm pretty confident on that one because Cal looked good against TCU, and I think
what I was thinking. They looked good against us, and Washington lost to Montana.
Yeah, dog shit, and then they got obliterated by Michigan too. So All right, let's hear your college football picks.
So up first, I got Notre Dame plus 6.5 at Wisconsin.
Oh, I think I'm gonna tail it. I'm really against Notre Dame, but I also don't think that Wisconsin is legit this year. So I'm gonna tail that one.
Graham Mertz sucks ass.
He does. He's so bad.
Even if Notre Dame doesn't pull it out, this is probably going to be a dogfight. 6.5 points is a lot of points.
Yeah, it's going to be a close game no matter what.
UCLA minus 4.5 at Stanford.
That's tough. I'm going to go ahead and tail that one because UCLA lost to Fresno State in an upset game. They're gonna be pissed. They're gonna want to bounce back. Chip Kelly doesn't want 2 losses, especially not a Pac-12 loss. So yeah, I'm gonna tail that. Give me UCLA.
And that's influenced my other bounce back game for picking Clemson minus 9.5 at NC State.
I'm gonna fade.
You're gonna fade.
I'm gonna fade.
I'm very nervous about this pick, so that's completely acceptable.
Yeah, I am a fan of NC State at home. They tend to overperform. And this Clemson offense has really been concerning. I mean, I will admit, I picked DJ Uiagalelei was one of my Heisman favorite picks, and he's looked pretty rough. So, not buying into the Tigers.
Yeah, that's fair. This is just like they have to come back at some point, right?
You're right. I mean, it's fucking Clemson. They've got to do. They're gonna win the game, I think, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Nah, 9.5's a lot though. And then I got another 9.5 point favorite, TCU versus SMU. I'm going with our boys. I think we're going to get a statement win against the Ponies.
Fucking tail, and more tails, dude. Statement win. It couldn't have said it better myself. SMU's been talking all this mad shit about TCU being scared to play them and whatnot. Light a fire under the iron skillet, baby. Cook up the Ponies. TCU's coming.
Yes, sir. And then here we got my favorite pick of the weekend. West Virginia plus 17.5 at OU.
There's 17.5 point underdogs?
Yeah.
Bro, tail that. I'm about to place that right now, bro. What?
Yeah, get on that.
There's no way.
Yeah. I'm pretty happy with my other ones. I'm a little concerned about. Like I'm a little concerned about UCLA, Clemson not covering, and then maybe TCU not covering because it is a rivalry game.
Yeah, that's the only thing I'm worried about. But I think we should have a big win, really.
I think we should have a big win, too. So
they would have lost to Louisiana Tech last week if it wasn't for that crazy Hail Mary play. Did you see that, by the way?
Yeah.
Dude, that was insane.
But West Virginia plus 17.5 at OU. This is by far my favorite pick out of the week. So
I like that a lot. I didn't even see that one.
Yeah,
I really like that.
You got to hit this if you're a gambler. OU has been struggling, and at that, I kind of got nervous because I was like, wait, is OU at home? Is that why it's so big? I checked. OU is at home, but they've also been struggling at home.
Yeah, that's where their rough games have been. Yeah.
So, fucking hammer.
This is gonna be their 4th home game in a row because they were supposed to play at Tulane, but it got moved to their stadium. Mm-hmm. So they're gonna have 4 home games in a row. That's not even fair. Anyway. Switching gears now from college football to the NFL. Here are my top 5 picks for this weekend. I'm taking a little bit of a bold risk going with some unders here. I'm going to start off with Washington football team at Buffalo Bills under 46.
Fade.
Interesting. All right.
Buffalo went under last week. They shut out their opponent. I don't think that's going to happen again.
But hey, I don't think it's going to happen again either. But I think that Washington's defense is going to stop them a little bit.
Washington defense hasn't looked very good.
They did give up fucking 29 points to the, what's it called? Or 29
Giants.
Points to the Giants. Yeah.
Yep.
It's true. All right. Well, next up, I'm taking Giants -3 versus the Falcons. I'm really not that confident in any of my NFL picks, but the Giants have got to win a damn game. And they're at home against the Falcons.
I'm going to fade.
Okay.
I'm going to fade.
Falcons +3.
Yeah. They competed with the Bucks there for a minute.
Well, I mean, they competed but lost by 23.
All right. Jets.
Yeah, this one I'm really nervous about, bro. I hate betting on the New York Jets, but a 10-point spread, I don't know. I think it's possible. I know Teddy Bridgewater, his nickname is Teddy Covers for a reason, but 10 points is a big spread. Jets need some sort of positive result. So I'm taking the Jets plus 10.
Give me Teddy Two Gloves. I'm gonna fade.
Dude, lots of fades so far, bro. You faded, what is it, like over half my pick.
Yeah.
You faded 6 out of my 8 picks so far.
Yep.
All right. Next up, I know you're going to tail this one. I already have a feeling. Green Bay plus 3 at San Francisco.
Yeah, I'm going to tail.
Yeah. I think Green Bay should be favored in that one. And then to finish off my card, I'm taking the Colts at Titans under 48.
So Carson Wentz is going to be out, right?
Correct. And I think the Titans are going to be running the ball a lot more because they'll have a comfortable lead. It's my philosophy, at least.
I'm going to tail.
All right. Got a couple tails there at the end. All right.
Yeah.
All right, let's hear your picks.
Okay, so up first I got Cleveland minus 6.5 versus Chicago, starting rookie quarterback Justin Fields.
I'm going to tail that one, actually. I usually am not a fan of betting on the Browns, but I don't believe in Justin Fields right now. I think he'll be good in the long run, but right now, not so much.
Rookie quarterback, Browns, Myles Garrett. All right, New England minus 2.5 versus New Orleans. Old Jameis came back last week.
Yeah, old Jameis was back.
Did you see that fucking arm punt he threw? My God.
No, wait, which one are you talking about?
The interception that he had?
Oh, okay, well, yeah. Yeah, I wanted to bet on Jameis Winston to throw an interception before the game started because I was like, he went 1 without an interception. No way he goes 2 without an interception. But I couldn't find the line. But anyway, New England minus 2.5. Are they home?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to tail that. I think a 3-point win isn't too
By
crazy.
the way, you burned me last week on your fucking San Jose State pick because I was going to fade you, but then you're like, no, San Jose State versus Hawaii. And I was like, is Hawaii at home? And you're like, no.
Oh, yeah, Hawaii was the home team.
And so I was like, okay, I'll tail. And then I look at it, and it says they're at home. And I was like, fuck, I was going to fade if Hawaii was at home. And Hawaii fucking covered.
Dude, I fucked up on that one. I thought San Jose State was the home team for some reason. I don't know why. I lost a unit on that bet, so it is what it is. My bad.
But yeah, you burned me on that. All right, Las Vegas minus 3.5 versus Miami. Jacoby Brissett is going to be starting.
See, I want to tail this one because it feels like the obvious pick, but I feel like that's what Vegas wants. You know what I mean? I don't know.
True.
I'm gonna fade. Actually, I'm gonna fade. I'm gonna take the bold decision.
This is definitely a trap game for sure. Raiders are riding high, facing a backup quarterback. This is where Jacoby Brissett is coming in fully prepared, and he's not, like we talked about before, he's not a terrible quarterback. So this could be a situation where fading me might be the right choice. But I'm going with mine. I'm riding high with Las Vegas, but this is one of those games you could really go either way.
Yeah, it does seem like a trap game.
And then here's a game where I don't think you could go either way. Seattle minus 1.5 versus Minnesota. Minnesota's going to go 0-3.
Yeah, I'm gonna tail that because I think Minnesota is probably a bit mentally defeated after their missed last-second field goal against the Cardinals. They need a positive result, but Seattle's not the team to face whenever you need a win. So I'm going to tail that one.
All right. And then here we have my favorite dog spread of the week. LA Chargers plus 6.5 at Kansas City.
Dude, I'm nervous, bro. I don't know what to do. Oh, I'm nervous on this one because I also really like this line, but I'm nervous to just fucking tail, you know? Fuck it, tail it. I'm going to tail it.
Worked good out for you last week.
It did. You're right. It did work out well. So I'm going to tail it again.
My only dog of the week, which might be bad, but we'll see. We'll see. Yeah. I think I'm pretty confident in that dog. I think that if anything, it's going to be a tight game. I hope that would be awesome if the Chargers won and gave Kansas City a 1-2 start. That would be crazy.
That would be crazy. Yeah.
I think probably Kansas City will win. But it is going to be tight. I don't think they will cover.
Yeah, honestly, I might also look into the first half spread because Kansas City tends to struggle in the first half, then pull it out of their ass, you know?
Dude, you might go first half money line.
Yeah, honestly, for the Chargers.
Or if you're feeling real frisky, do it where Chargers leading at half, losing full time.
Yeah. A little bit juicier bet. Yeah, I did that with the Lions game, bro. Oh, I had the fucking Packers winning the first half and then Lions winning the game.
You did the...
Yeah, switcheroo. But the payout was like $300 more for that than it was the other way around.
Yeah, sometimes you just look at those juicy odds and you see like 10 to win, like $800. You're like, I won it.
There's a chance. There's a chance. Like,
Screenshot it, send it to the group chat. Yeah, I got you.
It was one of those picks, but no, that's that'll do it for our Taylor Fade segment for this week. A lot of good games, a lot of sports going on, not even just in the football world. Like we said, UFC this weekend, F1, Ryder Cup. So plenty of stuff for everybody to watch. We'll be back again, same time, or not same time actually, on Tuesday at 8 o'clock live. And don't worry, this audio-only recorded version will be up on Spotify and Apple Podcasts as always. So before we go, just want to shout out one more time, GTD Sports' brand new podcast, Hockey Down Here with Alex and Taylor. Make sure you guys go and check that out on Apple, Spotify, all that good stuff. And we'll have it on our website ASAP. So with that being said, thanks for listening.